Hello everyone, my name is PolishLynx. Let's continue with Everlasting Summer. We are going to the clubhouse for the last ingredient. It feels like I've gone through more things today than all the previous days combined. Thus, approaching the clubhouse, I'd even forgotten to think about how awkward it must be to look for sugar there. What the fuck are you working on? Shriek and Electronic were enthusiastically building something. They were so busy that they didn't even notice me. I looked closely. It was some kind of a robot. Or at least the body of one. Moreover, this robot was female and had animal ears. I didn't want to make up theories about purpose of such device for luminaries of camp cybernetics. Even though the design looked practically workable, I had my doubts about this robot ever being able to conquer Earth, or at least being able to do anything on its own. But they seemed to be enjoying the process more than the end result itself. And that was something we shared, even though I didn't want to admit it. On the other hand, they weren't afraid of possible failure, criticism, or jokes. They were working towards their goal without paying attention to others, who would call it unrealistic or even absurd. Oh, it looks like I'm truly comparing them to luminaries of the sciences. Hey guys! I greet them uncertainly. Oh, Semyon! Come in, we're always glad to see you. I was actually already inside. You know, sorry for what happened yesterday. I barely remember anything but... Well, never mind, it's okay. And what brings you to our humble abode? Electronic looked at me slyly. Sometimes I feel that he makes such a face when he knows something about the other person, something he can use in the right moment. Sugar. I need sugar. An image from an ancient video game suddenly came to my mind, where some kind of unit, like a builder or something, cried out with all of its 5 peaks of stature. Gold! We need more gold! We got it! Said Electronic calmly. Why would you want it? I felt that I shouldn't explain to Shriek that they want to bake a cake for him. I shouldn't spoil the surprise. I don't know. Olga Dmitrievna told me to get some. Okay, hang on. Electronic disappeared behind the door into the next room. And why do you have sugar here? Why not in the canteen? When the food truck came last time, it was the last thing to unload. And given that our building is the closest one to the entrance, they decided to leave it here to save some effort. That's reasonable, isn't it? The door opened, revealing Electronic hauling a huge bag behind him. I really don't know what the size of the cake will be, but that was obviously too much sugar. Well, thanks, but I don't need it all. But where will you put it? Electronic gave me a surprised look. We don't have a place for it. You asked for sugar, so take it. It seems that the previous smile of his wasn't there without reason. Maybe you'll help me then. It's not that far to carry. We're busy. He pointed his hand at the robot. I guess at Shriek. He owed me, after all. He hesitated and looked away in shame. I sighed, took the bag and headed to the door. Thanks anyway. I said at parting, exerting myself. But I didn't make it too far. Just after a mere 20 meters, I had to put the bag down to have a rest. I had no idea how much it weighed, but it felt like more than 20 kilos. On the one hand, it was just 200 meters to the canteen. On the other hand, even such a distance with this payload on my shoulder, or alternatively in my hands or on my legs, or under my arm, or even on my head, looked impossible for me to cover. And as I resigned myself to move in mirror sprints, with prolonged pauses between them so I could get there by night at least, I heard a voice behind me. Maybe I could help you. I saw Lena in front of me. I don't think you can. It was one of those moments when I felt painfully how dramatically I was out of shape. I can bring a handcart. A handcart? Why didn't I think of that myself? Yeah, that would be great. Wait here, I'll be right back. She smiled and ran in the direction of the square. What would I do without her? It's good that Lena isn't always that shy and can take the initiative sometimes. I started to think, she seemed quite unusual now. with no trace of shyness on her face, and actually the complete opposite, smiles and confidence. The offer of help wasn't something extraordinary by itself, but getting it from Lena. A few minutes later, she came back with a smallish handcart. I put the bag down on it. Thanks. Don't mention it. She blushed and looked down. Oh, the Lena we all know is back. So, I'll go then. Yeah, see you. And thank you again. I shouted after her. Sometimes felt like there are two different people living inside of Lena. But the second one, confident, happy and sometimes even bold, only appears when she talks to me. Or am I making things up again? I thought that it would be better if I get all the ingredients once, so I headed to Olga Dmitrievna's cabin with the handcart. Finally, it seems that everything had been collected. I took the handcart with sugar outside and put the sack with the flour in it, followed by the 2 baskets of strawberries that somehow fitted in between. And the beer was hidden under my shirt, just in case. The day was coming to its end, so I had to hurry, as cake itself will need some time to bake. Of course, I'd rather enjoy lying down, closing my eyes and getting a decent sleep, but I just couldn't let Olga Dmitrievna down. Exactly. Indeed, after all the trouble I'd gone through, I even felt personally responsible for the success of this event. Cables, 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 got stuck under the chair. Coming to the square, I stopped for a moment to catch my breath. It wasn't that the cart was heavy. It ran smoothly without any noticeable effort required. It was just that any physical exertion caused pain to me now. Both a physical and mental one. I sat down on the bench and closed my eyes for a moment. What's that? I didn't really give a damn who it was. Probably just a fellow pioneer girl taking an interest in an unfamiliar companion in distress. What are you talking about? I asked her tiredly. She didn't reply. Those are the ingredients for a cake. Do you like cakes? I don't know. What? You never tried cake? I don't know. Obviously the girl didn't get what I was talking about, but it didn't surprise me at that moment. I really wasn't interested in a conversation. I was so tired that I had zero intention of classifying external distractions and tagging them as either common or uncommon. I see. Come down to the canteen later and have a bite. Really? Really. And what are they made of? What? I asked definitely. These. Cakes. Well, some flour, sugar, various fillings. Now that's a strange question. Doesn't she know what cakes are made of? And you have it all here? Yeah, sort of. And sugar? And sugar. Could you lend me a little? What for? I thought it was over the top. A sudden gust of wind made me grab the cart instinctively and open my eyes. However, nobody was there. Am I daydreaming? I noticed, though, that the sugar sack was untied and a small heap of it had been poured out. Could it be that she was scared by the wind and ran away? Having fixed the sack, I got up from the bench and continued on my challenging strawberry way. There wasn't a single person near the canteen. No wonder dinner was still an hour away. I brought the handcart to the rear exit and handed the foodstuffs to the camp cook. She must have already been told that what to do with them, as she gave me such an unpleasant look. I'm not sure how long it takes to bake a cake, but it seems she had to hurry. I just wanted to relax for the remaining time up until dinner. In short, I was so tired that I just sat on the steps and waited. My eyes closed themselves. I guess I got so tired throughout the day that I didn't even notice how someone came up to me until they patted me on the shoulder. Hey! Miko was standing before me. Yeah? I didn't need a mirror to imagine the expression of skepticism and annoyance on my face. Oh, excuse me, I must have interrupted you. No problem, I was just sitting here. Ah, alright then. Miko beamed with a smile. I was just coming to dinner. I thought that it's time already then, and then it appeared to me that it's too early, but I decided to check just in case. Maybe it's not me who's mistaken, but the clock is. Well, not the clock. Clocks can be mistaken. It's just that I misread it. She seems to be ultimately confused now and fell silent. It's still about half an hour before dinner. Oh, that's great. Then I will sit here and wait with you if you don't mind. Frankly speaking, I do mind. Why? You know, I have some matters to attend to. Yeah, right. You idiot! I stood up quickly and left without saying goodbye, ignoring Miku as I always did, while she screamed something after me. He's an idiot. A minute later, I got to the square and sat on the bench with the firm intention of finding a quiet and safe place here to wait for dinner. I think this is the first time in the last 4.5 days when I felt like this. I wasn't just irritated because of some insignificant details, but indeed I was really angry. I've completely stopped caring about where I am and why am I here. I don't care about how to get out either. What's driving me mad is that I always have to carry out some stupid task given by our camp leader, and it's always me who gets into stupid situations and sometimes even ends up looking like a clown. If all of this is some alien trick or a plot of the universal mind, they better consult with their psychiatrist. I grit my teeth and clenched my fists. And most annoying thing is that everything that happens seems to happen by itself somehow. I'd be happier not having to carry around bags of sugar that weigh a ton, but I had no choice at all. I mean, any other option would lead to much worse consequences and a muscle strain or hurt pride. Who are you angry with? Uliana was standing in front of me and smiled slyly. Nobody really, I answered absently, but my fists gave me away. Just like that. Okay, it's up to you. You better tell me, why did you run around the camp the whole day with some kind of bugs? I had to, I replied reluctantly. I guess it was food. Maybe it was. Uliana was about to say something, but at the moment the bell rang, calling the pioneers for dinner. I sighed relief and quickly headed to the canteen, leaving Uliana behind. Semyon, thank you very much. For what? My camp leader gave me a friendly smile. For the cake, of course. Ah, sure. It was at that exact moment that I understood the meaning of the saying, keep your fangs to feed your cat. You didn't tell anybody. This ought to be a surprise. Yeah. That's my boy. And now off you go to dinner. Again, Dmitrievna waved her hand, pointing at the canteen. I stepped through the doorway slowly and started to look for a free place, like always. I found there were plenty today, so I got the chance to eat all alone. There was fish with mashed potatoes for dinner. What misfortune once again, I will be left half hungry. And didn't we have fish for lunch? Is it a fish-only day today? Having pushed my plate with the fried seed well away, I laid my head on my hands and closed my eyes. But soon somebody came up to the table. Hey, are you alright? I'm fine, I replied without changing my position. Just tired? Yeah, a little. That's bad. Slava said it seriously. Oh, of course. You remember that we are going for the hike after the dinner, don't you? Have you prepared everything? Hike? What? Where? Even I don't remember such a thing. I opened my eyes and lifted my head up instantly. Lena was standing by Slavia. The hike? She was surprised. Didn't you know? No. I put my head down on the table and covered it with my hands. If only I could sink in the ground right away. The girls remained silent. I was left alone with my thoughts for some time, and that was fine by me. Maybe I could have sat that way until the end of dinner time, but the strong voice of Olga Dmitrievna was heard from the opposite end of canteen. Guys! To celebrate the miraculous rescue of our friend and comrade Shriek, we bake this cake for you all. I lifted my head idly and looked towards the camp leader, but couldn't see anything beyond the pioneers' backs. A second! Just a second! And nothing about me. Nothing about me rescuing Shriek or cutting the ingredients for the cake. As if that's how it ought to be. Well, it would be wrong to expect anything else from our camp leader. Let's go! Or we won't get our share. Slavia smiled. Let's go. Then I agreed. Yeah, sure. I got up reluctantly and tagged along behind the girls. As we approached the crowd of pioneers, Olga Dmitrievna was just putting the cake in the center of the table. And now... The camp leader wasn't able to finish as Uliana rushed out from the pioneer crowd and he dived into the cake. She managed to nibble it a few times before she was pulled away. It really looks bad here. She was kicking and screaming. I stared blankly from the outside at all this drama, Lisa smiling, Lena picking up some cream with her finger, and all the furious pioneers around. I felt completely out of place here. I thought that if I close my eyes now and open them again, here I am, back to the safety of my apartment in front of computer. I blinked, but nothing changed, only the noise and the confusion became sharper. Juliana, that's the limit! I just... Well, in fact, behaving like this is a bit over the top even for her. Should we broke into conversation, or is it a court-martial? Please, Olga Dmitrievna, since the cake is celebrating my turn, it's no big deal. He hesitated. It doesn't matter. The computer turned to Oliana. And you. Today I'm going to punish you to the fullest extent, so behave next time. Whatever. She snorted and turned back. You won't be going on the hike with us tonight. As if I wanted to. I was more than willing to switch places with Juliana and skip the hike instead of her, but who knew? If I had have guessed beforehand, I'd have been the first one to go berserk and smash the damn cake. After a couple of minutes of confusion, the pioneers started to disperse. You have to get ready to. There will be a line up at the square in half an hour. I looked straight into the eyes of the computer, trying to express my attitude non-verbally, but it seems that I failed. Don't be late. Juliana was sitting at the table when I approached her on my way to the exit. So, why did you do it? She looked very upset, but she had a right to be so. I wanted to, Juliana replied abruptly. So, you're happy now? Of course I am. And you, good luck with the hiking. She smiled mischievously, sprang up and rushed out of the canteen. Well, a little bit of luck wouldn't hurt. And let's end the episode here. We'll go for a hike in the next one. See you then. Bye.